To find the GCF of number 1, we are going to see what number 14 and 35 have in common. If you're not sure, you can put it in your calculator in the greatest common divisor. If you don't remember how to get there, in a calculator page, you will go to Menu, 2 for number, and then 5 for greatest common divisor. You will type in 14, 35. After you do that, you should see that the greatest common divisor, or greatest common factor, for 14 and 35 is 7. They also have something else in common. They both have x's. So I have 7x in common with both of them. So I can factor out 7x. That's the number that will go in front of my parentheses. The inside of the parentheses will be the stuff remaining after you divide 7x from both terms. 14 divided by 7 is 2. I had x squared on top, and I'm taking an x out, so all I'm left with is x. 35 divided by 7 is 5. I had one x on top, and then I took out an x, so I no longer have x's, so I can close my parentheses. My answer is 7x, parentheses, 2x plus 5. I factored out a 7x. To factor trinomials, we are going to use our knowledge of GCF and box method to help us factor this. So I will do number 18. I have x squared plus 15x plus 56. My first thing I need to do is draw a box. The second thing I will need to do is draw an eye to the side of it. If you remember from your notes from yesterday, your first term goes in the first box, so x squared in my first box. The last term will go in the last box, 56. I multiply these two to put on top of my I, 56x squared. That middle term of 15x will go down on the bottom. I need to find two numbers that multiplies to 56x squared, but will add to 15x. So I need to think of all of my factors of 56. I have 1 and 56, 2 and 28, 4 and 14, and then 7 and 8. I need to figure out which one of these factors will add up to 15. 1 and 56 does not. 2 and 28 will not either. 4 and 14 doesn't either. So my last one is 7 and 8. Those are my two terms that go in my other box. Make sure to put an X with them. Now we will use our GCF going across and up to get our two factors. I will go across the x squared and 7x first. Since it's an x squared and then I have 7x, I know I can take out an x. What is the greatest common factor of 1 and 7? Don't forget, there's a secret 1 in front of this x squared. If you said 1, you would be correct. Now we're going to go to our bottom row. We have 8x and 56. So they both don't have x's, so I won't take out an x. But my greatest common factor between 8 and 56 is a positive 8. Now we will go upwards. So in my first column, I have 1x squared and 8x. You're right, they both have x's. And since that 1 and 8, what is the greatest common factor? 1x. If you do not put your 1 in front of the x, that's okay. Now in my last column, I have 7x and 56. They both don't have x's, so I will not take an x out. But my greatest common factor between 7 and 56 is a positive 7. To write my two factors, I will write them in parentheses. My first one is x plus 8. And then your second one is the top, x plus 7. Those are my two factors of my trinomial x squared plus 15x plus 56.